YouTube Pagan challenge video. This time we are on letter O, and I decided to share another story with you, kind of like the moon one, and it is how the ocean tides came to be. Now it says that this was a Native American legend, but it doesn't, and this is what pisses me off, it doesn't say which tribe. So I don't know which Native American tribe had this as a legend, but that's pretty much, that's all the information I got from this book. And this book is How the Ocean Tides Came to Be. It is retold by Virginia Driving Hawk Sneeve, illustrated by Linda Bronson. Long ago, there were people living near the ocean. They were troubled and needed help. The people raised their cries, traveled far, and all the animals heard them. The animals on land wanted to help, but they were afraid of the ocean. The current was too strong for them. The animals in the water wanted to help, but they were too far away, deep in the sea. Raven heard the people's call for help. He didn't know how far he had to travel, but he was sure he could reach the people. Raven flew and flew until it got dark. He was tired and had to rest. He found a tree to rest in for the night. In the morning, he flew high in the sky and looked down at the ground below. "I didn't know this would be such a long trip," he said as he searched for the ocean. Then he heard an awkward voice call to him, "Raven, where are you?" Raven turned his head toward the sound. "Raven, please help us. We need you." Raven traveling. Out of the corner of his eye, Raven spotted the ocean. The coral below the surface shimmered in the sun. Then he saw a house on the shore. He flew down and perched on the roof of the house. "Please help us," a man's voice said. "I am here to help you," Raven cawed. "We are starving. Our children grow with hunger and may die," the man cried. "Why is this?" asked Raven. "The ocean current stays high up on the shore for too long. It covers the clams, crabs, and seaweeds so that we cannot gather them." "I must do something," Raven said, "even if I am tired after my long journey." So he shook the dust from his feathers and flew away. From side to side of the shore, he spotted the flippers of seals swimming in the water. He saw some small fish, but he could not see anything that would make the ocean current flow away from the shore. I like this. It's very colorful. Raven was getting tired, and he was glad to see a house high above the ocean. He flew down and saw an old woman sitting in the house. She stared out at the door. In her hands she held a leather strip that reached out to the ocean. The leather strip controlled the tides of the ocean. Every once in a while the woman slept and her hands relaxed. Then the tide dropped and the water rushed away from the shore. Sometimes she slept long enough for the people to gather clams, but suddenly she would wake up, take a deep breath, and pull the leather strip tight. Then the ocean rushed back over the beach. The people had to run away from the crashing waves. Raven landed in front of the house door and peered at the old woman. She looked straight ahead as if she did not see him. Raven hopped about. He kicked the sand in an awkward way. He smoothed his wings and tail feathers. The woman blinked. She glanced at Raven. "Grandmother?" he said in his softest and most respectful voice. The old woman did not answer. Raven took a deep breath and went on. "Today I have eaten the most delicious clams." The old woman looked at Raven. "What clams?" she asked. Raven lifted a wing and patted his stomach as if it were full. "It was no trouble at all to pick them up from the sand. I ate more than I should have." "That cannot be," said the old woman. She lifted her head and tried to look out of the door, but Raven hopped about and blocked her view. She stood up to peer over his head, but Raven moved so that she had to lean over to the side. She leaned too far and fell out of the door. "Oh!" the old woman cried. As she fell, she let loose the leather strip. Whoosh! The tide rushed out. All the clams, crabs, and other good things were left on the sandy shore. Raven flew to the beach and called to the people. They came. Up and down the shore, people picked up the good food. "Thank you, Raven, thank you," they called. Raven's beak opened, but he was too full to speak, and he slumped on the sand to rest. Then he fell asleep. Much later, he awakened to hear the pitiful cries of the old woman. "Help me, Raven, I cannot see. Help me," she begged. "I will," said Raven, "but you must promise to let go of the leather strip twice each day. If this is done, the people can gather food from the beach." The woman was so happy that she could see again. She kept her promise forever. Now the old woman can take a nap when she is tired. Then she lets go of the leather strip and the water flows out. When she awakens, she tightens the strip and the water returns. And that is how the ocean tides came to be. Native Americans have many stories about clever animals who help humans. These animals are often clumsy, funny, and silly. Sometimes they get into trouble. Stories told by tribes of the northwest coast of the United States often involve the raven. So that's the only information about which tribe is tribes of the northwest coast. Anyway, that's the story. I hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a great day. Brightest blessings.